Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts Virtek and Chibi are back from their latest adventure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Golden Feather Tavern, where your hosts, Chibi and Virtek, discuss Ashes of Creation and important topics spoken about within the Ashes community. Every week we invite you, the viewer, and a special guest to pull up a chair, grab a pint, and join the conversation with us. Unfortunately, this week we do not have a guest to please you. We are just here by ourselves, so I hope you're happy. Today being the 7th of July, 2023, and we are on episode 170. And for multiple reasons, this one is called A New Home.
Yep.
So the other person who just piped up there, that is Chibi. And how are you today, lovely?
I am doing much better now that we have all the tech issues ironed out a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But, it's been a long week, but it's been an even longer month with moving. Thank you, Alexia. Thank you, Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome in. Thank you for the welcome backs. And, dogs versus cats. We have a suggested devil's advocate discussion topic.
Oh, okay. Dogs versus cats. All right. Well, Fenris, Ironclaw, I believe Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather us call you Raven now, or keep it for or Fenris? Yeah. I was just gonna say we're gonna save it to the end.
Cheers, by the way, for the.
Yeah, absolutely. Not often people do one of those for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we figured this week would be our first week back in forever. Would be a great week to be just us hanging out with you peoples. And just kind of, go over everything that we missed, because we have been completely out of touch on stuff. There's been some things occurring in the community, and obviously the live stream, we were able to just only kind of watch that until today. I was able to sit down and watch most of it. Mm-hmm. And the combat one, I was only able to see the actual combat portion, the gameplay part. I didn't watch any of the rest of it. So we're going to be asking you folks lots of questions today.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to be fussing with the overlay. As you can see, we have a new form of the chat bubbles. They are ideally more standalone, but may add like a little overlay to go behind them to set them apart a little easier.
Yeah.
Instead of being stuck on the parchment like your previous chats were. So hopefully it makes it a little bit bigger and easier for you guys to read. I'm busy paying 14 to pay much attention. That's fair. That's fair. Well, we don't really have a guest to talk about this week, but I guess we could talk a little bit about like our own updates and everything. What do you think? Yeah,
I guess really quick, since we don't have a guest, what I would like to talk about, since we are all about community and things going on, is I would like to make sure that everybody remembers that on the 9th of July, that is 2 days from now at 12 Pacific, that is 3 p.m. Eastern, Stephen Sharif is going to be joining the Ashen Forge. So, we're going to check that out. Twitch.tv/TheoryForge.
Yep. I wonder if I could do a shout out to them. They have to be alive.
That's a good question. I honestly have no idea.
I'm going to try right now.
I'm going to try to do a shout out unless somebody was in the chat with us.
Oh, there you go.
Hey. So yeah, if you haven't been over there, stop over there. Just so you know, like every other content creator out there, they may or may not be your cup of tea. These folks are a lot more analytical, and they do tend to go a lot more deeply into topics and the nitty gritty details.
Yes.
They're not exactly action-packed, but they are info-packed.
Absolutely. Can agree with that. Yes, we have the bare minimum unpacked at the moment. Still have a bunch of stuff. We are kind of coming in from a slightly larger domain to a slightly smaller domain, but we're figuring it out.
Yeah, getting there little by little. We kind of bump into one thing we need to do or want to do and whatnot, and so we unpack the bare minimum to do that.
Yep.
And then we move along to the next thing and unpack the bare minimum for that, and then we spend a couple hours just trying to reorganize everything that we've unpacked already and undo more stuff. So we have a quote unquote dining room. Right now it's a boxing room, or an unboxing room, I guess, as it may be.
And it's not the exciting kind where you like ordered something. It's stuff that we already own, kind of unboxing.
Technically, they were deliveries.
Yeah.
And we did order the delivery, but it's stuff we already own, so it's not as exciting.
Yeah. I will say, as we packed, though, there was a lot of, oh, that's where that went.
Yep. And as we unpacked, there was a lot of, why did we even bother keeping this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, Annie, that's what we're trying to avoid. I know so far we've had some things that we could not move to avoid some of the packing, but that was stuff we've had to get done, so we're making exceptions for that. But yeah, we're trying to avoid the still having boxes to undo. The last place we were living at, we still had things. Yeah, exactly. We still had some things in boxes that we should have taken out like a year and a half after we moved in.
Fun fact, if you didn't know, I ride a motorcycle with Virtek, and I packed my car keys into the storage unit. I already know it's my motorcycle keys, not my car keys, but my keys for it.
Good thing we had spares sitting around.
Yes. But I legit thought I lost my motorcycle keys, and they were the only set that had a certain key for a lock that we used to protect the motorcycles. And I legit thought I lost it, but luckily when we went to clear out the whole entire unit, I found them, and I was really relieved, but also like kicking myself because they'd been there the whole year. I think right on top too, easily found. So
yeah, it was basically the first box I think we opened up. Yeah.
I think I had set them in because I was carrying it and I had them in my hand from like driving over or something. I don't remember. But I actually like this idea. If you're interested in this, Virtek, just kind of, I guess, free balling it, doing it live. But what do you think of having at least 1 week a month where we just kind of have just you and I, and then maybe the first segment is literally like community updates, things going on in the community?
Yeah, I think that's something we kind of tossed around a little bit, is having a community night where we just sit and chat with some people and then we play games, or vice versa. We play some games and then we chat.
Yeah, not quite what I was referring to, but yeah. Oh no, Annie. Okay. No, I was specifically talking about how during the first part of this session, we're usually talking to the guest, and I'm saying it's just you and I for one session of each month. Where instead of talking about the guest, we're talking about community ongoing specifically before getting into the stream, the podcast. There's the podcast. Just to highlight things.
We can talk that out. See what we can do about that.
Also want to get of course, your guys' opinions, because you guys are the reason why we do this. So just spitballing ideas. But just, I guess, if you haven't been a part of either of our private live streams most recently, I say private, individual live streams most recently, Virtek and I are looking into potentially streaming elsewhere besides just Twitch, or elsewhere including Twitch. It kind of remains to be seen because there is a lot of TOS stuff to go through on Twitch.
Yeah, we get a lot of that to catch up on, and people have been helping with finding other options. There's multiple other options we can use for streaming. So yeah, we're thinking about Kick. There's 2 other things that somebody showed me that I haven't had the time to dig into, but there are some other items, and maybe doing YouTube. So we were thinking of on a different night, or even maybe alternating. I don't know. Do some Fridays, some podcasts over on Kick and YouTube and whatever that other option was. I forget.
I don't know. It never got set to me. I only know about Kick. So
I know there's another one out that's based on crypto. They fund you in crypto coin. Which, I mean, has its pros and its cons, but I mean, I don't know personally a lot of folks that are trying to be on a platform where you tip in crypto.
yeah.
But it's yeah, for any of those who are interested in crypto stuff, I can dig up the info if you would like. It gives a 97% payout, I think, or 93%, maybe a 93 or 97, I don't know. So if somebody tips you $10, you're getting $9.70 of it.
Interesting.
Not sure if it'd be good for us to go there. I think we have a big crypto loving audience.
Yeah, you're probably like the only person I know that's into that stuff.
Yeah.
Even
and
remotely.
even me, just barely anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, the point is, you know, we're looking at options because, you know, we heard rumors, but we want to look into them instead of just, you know, hearing and agreeing with or going with the rumor. But that Twitch will not allow, even if we were to do the removal of the affiliate, Twitch would not allow for multi-streaming, even just as a non-affiliate. So we just want to check that out and see, because if we can do it without being an affiliate, we have other ways that you guys could, you know, help not promote us, help support us. Twitch is a jealous lover. It honestly, yes, yes, it is. If I can't have you, no one can, senpai.
No, streamers and platforms cannot just be friends, okay?
Yeah, no. You can't be friends with other platforms. But yeah, polygamers, polystreamers.
Yeah, polystreamers. I like it.
I'm already a polygamer, so I have so many games that I like to play.
Yeah, you and me both
geez.
get stuck playing 7 at the same time instead of just finishing one out.
Yeah, I might be bad at that.
I got to a hard part, so I tried another one. And then I just never got back to the other one 6 months later. How do I play this again? Shit, I guess I'm starting over.
I considered starting over my Zelda because I can't remember how to play, and I'm stuck because the world has gotten tougher around me and I can't remember how to play. So I keep dying.
Oh man. See, I had to make a choice here recently with Horizon Zero Dawn, because I beat the base game with like 100% completion on the PlayStation, but I got it on the computer through Steam now because it's stupid cheap. Yeah. And I was like, so do I look on like the cheat engine stuff and get like a save game that's beat the base game? That way I can just start where I left off? Or should I? No, I should probably just start over so I can learn how to play again. Man. It's a one-player game, so I mean, it's whatever. I'll mod it so I could just jump ahead to where I was on the PlayStation.
I feel like that when I play MMOs as well, like I feel like I get really good at a game or like a class, and then if I stop playing for a certain amount of time and then I come back to it, or if I even switch to a different game for a little bit and then I come back to it, I find that like I'm slow to kind of ramp back up into like how good I was before. Yeah. It's true. But yeah, all of that being said, you know, we're still going to be making our podcast stuff. Yeah, it's not like riding a bicycle. Not at all. All that said, we're going to still be doing our podcast. We are officially, if you have not known, we are officially caught up on our YouTube channel. So all of our videos are up to date. Yes, 169 was the last one to be uploaded. It was uploaded a month ago. I know that we've been gone for so long. We apologize. We did not intend to be gone this long. We were actually supposed to be live last week with Phelan being on with us today, but then Virtek had a work emergency that like needed him. Luckily they called you last night instead of tonight as well. because that would have just been unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
But this
That
is
same
also kind
emergency
of
almost took me up today.
yeah. Oof. But like this is also why we swapped our days. Like Virtek has, if you didn't know, Virtek's been doing the Saturday morning coffee quest type thing because he needs coffee more than I do. And I've been doing Monday night comfy streams. So we kind of swapped because I can get off of work reliably. He cannot. Even though we both have salary jobs, his job likes to take him from his private time a lot. So yeah.
They do.
But I suppose I will go over the general topics we're going to have. I would like to at least touch on the forum discussion topic for roleplay. I'm going to actually move this down so I'm not looking up so high. There we go. We're going to definitely talk about freeholds. But I think the freehold situation might be taking over most of the stream. We had to cancel our stream tonight. Yeah, I saw that because our unexpected craziness. Our old house was supposed to close today, and it got delayed by 20. Oh no!
20
I'm so
days.
sorry to hear that.
Yes.
Housing
Tell them
problems.
they're not
man.
allowed to.
Right?
Just deny the request. Say no delays. Not approved.
But yeah, now that I've given you kind of the rundown on upcoming streams, the only other thing I want to add real quick on the upcoming stream is Sunday will not be D&D this week, but I will try to do something D&D related. Maybe try to stream a few hours or an hour with you. So yeah. Oh no, that sucks. I'm sorry, Annie. But the first official return of our D&D sessions, I think, will be, let me grab my Discord real quick because I have it in the events. And I told my players, I'm like, mark that you're interested or you shall be like excluded, teasingly. But the 30th
Lovingly.
of this month. Lovingly, yeah. But yeah, the 30th of this month is when we will come back with our full swing of D&D. So, yeah,
Looking forward to that.
absolutely.
To be honest, I was mostly looking forward to just getting back and doing the podcast. Because my gosh, I feel like we've been gone for forever. It was way longer than a month.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I get that. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to do that. I'd rather spend the time to prepare for the D&D sessions, but all right, have fun. Go enjoy your dinner. But yeah, I just I want to keep it related as much as possible.
Yeah, Annie, have a good night. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us. Much appreciated.
It's supposed to be a tabletop game or tavern games day. That's why I'd rather like not play a different game on that day. What do we call it? Parlor games day? Yeah, parlor games day.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think that.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't think you were gonna add anything to that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the original idea was to maybe play some other stuff like one night a week, or one night a month rather.
Yeah. Hey, Licho. Welcome in.
Hello there. Sorry, continue.
I was just gonna put us back on track to actually do the podcast as every employee.
Ew, being on track. Who does that? Who does that?
Us. We do that.
No.
So I'm just gonna dive straight into the depth discussion on role playing. I am sure a lot of you have already seen this because it was posted on June 27th. But I think Litro might be interested in even just chatting about this in general. So this is Intrepid has a developers discussion where they ask the viewers or the people in the community what they like out of roleplay things. And since D&D is heavily roleplay oriented, as well as other TTRPGs, I feel like, we have a little bit to say in that, but not nearly as much as maybe Dunehold might. So this is what systems and features make role-playing fun? What features help remove hurdles and barriers? This is particularly within video games. And I think they are just trying to get different ideas for fun role-play systems and things that, people enjoy using within various types of games. Any come to mind?
For me, I'm such a light RPer when it comes to MMOs that I just like playing with the dances and the emotes.
That's fair. It's a good way to talk to somebody without talking to somebody too. Like if somebody helps you, you just click on them and throw a thank you emote at them, and it just automatically tosses that out.
Yeah, my typical RP in the game, outside of going through the quests and playing the role of that character specifically in the questing area, is kind of maybe adding some in games that allow it, which Ashes is not going to. Adding text to macros so that when I use a skill, it'll do a certain thing or say a certain thing.
Oh yeah, no, I love that too, especially when you maybe heal somebody. It's like a little bit of a voice line, if you will, that you might say.
Making macros that take an action or do a dance and also say something out loud, that type of thing. That's the extent of 90% of my roleplay, 95% of my roleplay in MMOs.
That's fair. I think for me, I liked doing the /me or the /em for emphasis, and it would allow you to kind of change back and forth the perspective or point of view. So it'll say your name instead of I whatever, so that it's a little bit more, it feels very like you are reading a book instead of you are being the person, because it's Chibibree dances on the table when you do /me or whatever, but yeah, magic words always make spells feel cooler. Absolutely. We also had somebody who loved to res people with some sort of voice line or text line, I guess in this case, where they would say, hey, get up, lazy, you're not out of the fight yet.
Nobody said you could die.
Or when the warlocks would do a soul stone, so and so has granted you a second life, please don't waste it.
Yeah.
So I love those things, and I think it's it adds a little bit of humor and just a little bit of a role play aspect to it, but it's also it's something that's neat for the light role players like you to be able to get into. I remember having full-on role plays in World of Warcraft where we would use our spells and stuff like that. I as a hunter, I would always do the feigned death when somebody was pretending to attack me. But yeah, no, it I only liked that. I liked that more when I was younger, but I only liked it because I used to do text-based roleplay, and I love text-based roleplay. If you want to know how much of a nerd I am, I'm about to tell you, and I'm probably gonna be embarrassed for this later. But when I was in high school, I used to love roleplay so much that I would, and I was such a little nerd that I would take whatever word that we needed to memorize for that week, and I would look up the definition, and I would try to weasel that word into my role plays as much as possible. So I'm typing it out, practicing the meaning of the word. Nice. And then I usually aced my spelling test at the end. So I would kind of use role play as a way of relaxing after school, but also practicing my schoolwork.
I like it. Word of the day: prestidigitation.
Oh geez. Cast prestidigitation. But yeah, a couple of the things that people said is they would like to see new emotes getting added so that you can see like constantly new things. I think part of our favorite with Final Fantasy XIV was going through those quests and getting those random different emotes.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and it's a good incentive to complete quest lines, especially like oh man, what's his name? The one that does that one dance. You know what I'm talking about? The silly one. With the big puffy hairdo on top. He always looks like Muscle Man. He like poses to the side. There's a whole silly quest line about it.
Trying to remember something with an M.
Hopefully somebody out there knows what we're talking about.
There's something with an M. I totally forget it. But yeah, he had a lot of them you can unlock.
Yeah. Sounds really cool. I gotta go. I'll be looking. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for the lurk.
Yeah. Lurking behind the screen. I suppose we could have them lurk around the tavern on this view.
Oh yeah.
Like popping up from the underneath the bar. That'd be cute. But yeah, so some seasonal holiday emotes, some class race specific emotes. The emotes that can change according to the character's mood. So if they're wearing like an angry face, then like the emote might change. I don't know. That sounds a little more like complicated, but like maybe an upset emote, you know, or a variation. But yeah, that's just one person's feedback. Another person said that they argue that role-playing relies on immersion. If the game has a lot of mechanics that are not explained or don't make a lot of sense, all while not providing a compelling story, then most players won't try to play an actual role. So the quests tell me that I'm the most important person in the world, number 556878. Without explaining for the other ones that no suspension of disbelief can happen, which I'm at. Hello, Dow. Which you know, I'm at least glad that's something Steven said he's gonna not do, is make us like the champion, right? We're just people. I like that. Yeah.
Agreed. Big agreed.
Yeah.
Because I think in a single player game, that's an acceptable way to go. It still feels kind of like meh to me. It's like, because everyone's done it. Like, you're the best, you're the chosen, you're the most amazing thing in the world. Yeah. But if I am, then why is everyone else better than me when I meet up with them in the field? But yeah, in a multiplayer environment, that absolutely should not be the thing.
Yeah.
The big who's on first? Who's number one?
Yeah.
Where's number two? I don't know. Probably a guy taking a nap over there, I guess.
Wow. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot there. There's a lot of good feedback. We have a couple people from the Iron Guard, from Dunehold that responded. Thorbus from Dunehold says, one notable feature that adds depth to role-playing is the ability to have bands of minstrels in games like Lord of the Rings Online. This feature allows players to create and participate in musical performances, kind of like Final Fantasy XIV, right? Another aspect that enhances role-playing is the integrations of animations into typed dialogue, which is what you said. Hello, Thogly. McKean doing the work. Absolutely. I knew somebody
heard us talking.
I knew somebody from Dunehold was going to be piping in somewhere. I was scrolling to find it. But yeah, no. I honestly, you were looking. Yeah. I honestly do think that that's an important part. I mean, they said that they're not going to, but I hope they change that, right? Because like, that was a good one. Their character would laugh through the accompanying animation, you know? Like being able to add like text and then /laugh or something like that, and it would pick up the slash part or like some sort of exclamation mark laugh. I don't know. And it would go through the string, and if it understands something that is a emote, then I think it should register that emote while you're doing it. I think that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I need to have an evil laugh. That's, you have to get corrupted first for that.
Yeah, I like there was Rigi or Rigi, I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, put in a few things that were kind of interesting.
Yeah.
In that that post there, and one of them that I have heard somebody else mention before, and I kind of like the idea of, at least to a point, is being able to put an actual biography in your character window. So that somebody can see at least a few details about a person just by checking it out there. Yeah. And it'd be neat if you could post stuff about your own character for you to read. That way you can constantly, as you're doing things, you can start like, oh, my character just unlocked something that they absolutely despise. Let me type it in there.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Like new fear unlocked.
Yeah. Flavor text in other games, I've made macros for those. Yeah, and that's what Virtek and I were talking about before too. But yeah, and add it in, and like all the big people that I know within the RP community, I'm just really happy to see people's responses. But yeah, I mean, they would know more about roleplay than I would, so I didn't bother trying to respond, but I was curious what some people's thoughts were. So, yeah.
The other
excited.
thing that I think Ashes is already going to be doing is the chat bubble thing. Is the ability to turn chat bubbles on. That way you can, have focus, focus your camera and whatnot on, the direction of something going on, and maybe even turn off a lot of your UI and just use the chat bubbles for talking. Yeah,
absolutely. Somebody was also talking about like tagging for role players to know who's in character and who's not. But yeah,
that'd be neat. Yeah, like have a separate little icon that can pop up if they're in like RP mode.
Yeah.
Though I will say that might end up inviting some griefing, maybe.
Yeah. They said while having a roleplay tag in game can be abused by some bad actors, it's overall beneficial to role players as a whole. That's what they said specifically. Thogly, thank you.
Thank you, Thogly. Much appreciated, and a cheers to you.
I am currently trying to get my new toy set up, so I'm going to be a little slow to cheers. I apologize. We had Dramatis, Persona, and WoW, and we thought of it as playing roles for a Renfest. People can enjoy it without taking part. Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be neat to be able to flag people who are in RP mode. That way, if you are trying to just interact and keep yourself immersed in whatever, you could walk up and join them, and maybe have just an RP only chat.
Yeah.
You could limit it down to people who are like actually in that channel, are the only ones you see talking. The only chat bubbles you see.
Yeah.
But
I like that. Then it like limits the cluster. You could have a private role play without like other people necessarily seeing it, or it could be like a filter. So you could have a special type of role play, like a role play channel, if you will, that has the chat bubbles, and you can enter or leave that channel. So if somebody wants to join into a role play, they can kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was leaning towards. Is it would still be like an area chat, like a town chat or something for a local area. But you could go into like RP channel, and just everybody who's in RP channel would be able to, if they wanted to, segment out and like filter out all the other chats and only see RP.
So trade chat is roleplay chat.
Yeah, RP chat. There you go.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, the only negative part I would see with that is if you get a group of people out running around together and they're all in RP mode, and somebody's trying to be a troll or trying to be a jerk, It ended up totally disrupting all that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of roleplay, I am very excited by the amount of information they gave us. I'm not really seeing it here in the notes, but I do know that taverns are going to be playing a very special role in Ashes of Creation, and I could not be any more excited as a tavern with Virtek here, because that kind of really, I don't know, it makes me super excited, because since Ashes doesn't have trolls, can we rename it to Trying to Tolnar? I love it. But no, like apparently we can, have furniture that give you guys different buffs, food buffs, things like that.
Yeah, and this is the one thing I'm sad about is that the freeholds are going to be limited in number. And they're apparently going to be like gigantically spaced out. But I was thinking what would have been nifty is if we were able to both get a Golden Feather Tavern, plop them right next to each other on the separate freeholds, just right next to each other, and have one for inn functions and one for tavern functions.
I love it.
And just go down the different skill trees, but that's going to be apparently very expensive and possibly not even able to be done.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's only going to be like what, 10 to 30% of the people who are registered on a server will be able to have one.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, by the way? Yeah, it might be easier just to put two inns on a single freehold. Yeah,
if we can.
Yeah.
I mean, fingers crossed.
Champion of the Hill.
Joining champions.
Who shall be the next champion? You can. They said so. Oh,
okay.
Cool.
And that I guess is somewhat crisis averted.
Yeah, I imagine there'd be two small buildings then.
I think though we're gonna have to get some investors to help us buy a freehold, and then just give them access to the tavern or something.
Oh yeah.
Because if it's as tumultuous as I think it's going to be, we're not gonna have a forever home tavern anywhere. We're gonna have to keep buying a new one.
Yeah. I mean, that was something that he did kind of address. I'll be your bouncer for free drinks. Thank you, Fenris. Anytime. Depends on the drinks that you want. I will be making potions. But yeah, no, I mean,
Welcome to the Dwarven Bank of Doomhold.
Love it.
The number one fan finger. Look at that. See, I'm a number one fan of the Bank of Doomhold. It has to be done now.
Rigged. But
I was just trying to make a point. I am the number one fan, okay? I decline above the rabble.
No, I think it'd be really cool to have, options for tier 2 feather beds, and like your rested experience gain rate is increased by additional 20%. The max amount of rested XP increase is increased by 30%. But it requires you to be max level, and adventuring max level. And 2,000 gold. I don't know how hard it's going to be to have that. If the bank isn't a mountain, I'm going to be very disappointed. But yeah, no, I think it'd be really, really cool. But yeah, he did mention in a Q&A, somebody asked how long after a siege would you have to essentially clean up your stuff? And there wasn't very clear of an answer, but the overall general feeling was it's kind of time dependent on the
you'll
event.
have some time.
So yeah, I guess we'll see. That might be a thing that they have to test, right? So
Yeah. How much time will we have to pack up? You'll have some time. Some time is
it
how
would
long
suck
you'll
if you
have.
have to do it while they're doing the siege. Like you can't partake because you're in the middle of trying to pack everything.
Yeah, well, apparently, once a siege is declared, you can't actually like pack and ship anything. It's, I guess maybe all locked up or something. I don't know. I forget what he said about that. I'll have to look it up. So don't take that as like fact. I just recall him saying something along the lines of once a siege is declared, can't like remove raw materials. But I mean, that would stink because it would lock you out of crafting for a couple days if you couldn't. So just something slightly different than that.
Sounds like you definitely want to be home for a siege. Absolutely. I would agree with that. But I like that there's different upgrade paths, specifically for the tavern, which, I mean, our whole spiel here is we are role-playing as 2 tavern owners, and you guys are tavern folk. So, yeah, I think that is easy to say I'm biased towards them.
Now, the question I would have then, though, for everybody here in chat is, if we were to only have one tavern for any amount of time for any reason, like we just can't afford to buy a second one for a little while, do you think it'd be more advantageous to have the one with rested XP or the one with the food and drink buffs?
Ooh, you know what? I can make this into, now that I know what you're asking, I can make this into a poll.
Yeah, or should I say with boosted rested XP and boosted food buffs? Because the other 2 options on the second tree, one was a piece of drink and one was a piece of food. So
what were the 2 options?
If our tavern should focus on rested XP bonuses, and then people will just grab food while they're there, but they're getting the rested XP, and we're, the only tavern in the area that has a rested XP boost.
Yeah.
Or should we get the boosted food buffs because, hey, they're the only tavern in the area that has boosted food buffs. And then they'll just, camp out there and get the rested XP while they're at it.
Okay.
Right? Which would draw more people?
I put, if we can only make one tavern up, or one tavern location, would you prefer focus on rested XP or focus on food buffs? Starting the poll, it's going to go for 10 minutes. There you guys go. I plan on 2 alts, so it's XP for me. Nice.
Yeah, see, normally I'm an altaholic, but I think the way that Ashes is being set up is not going to be friendly towards that approach, to have multiple characters, more than like
I could
2.
see that. Yeah.
Very not friendly for it. So I have a feeling I'll only have like 2 or 3 characters. And kind of like Galwood was saying there, for my own self, I think I would probably rather have the rested XP buff while I'm leveling them, but as soon as I finish leveling them, then obviously it doesn't matter.
Right.
So then it's going to be all about that food buff life, which is going to be the majority of playtime in a game, right? And besides, while leveling, food buffs are also pretty strong, right?
Yeah, I can see that. It kind of depends on the type of player that you are, right? If you're the type of person that would go, Alexia. Yeah, unless the XP debt is a constant issue at max level. True. I mean, there is XP debt in the game, so I did forget about that aspect too.
I mean, yeah, that's a very fair point. That's a very fair point.
I was going to say, it kind of depends on, what kind of player you are, right? If you are somebody who focuses on raiding a lot more, maybe the food buff will be important to you. Or maybe you'll want that food buff so you're not dying so much. You love this view?
The view that they have in the game right now?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's pretty. I just wanted to make sure because, this is, I think, kind of a newer view for us as well, our overlay at the moment. Something I'm going to be working on a little bit more because it's hard to figure out what a 16 by 9 looks like without it getting skewed. So. Yeah,
there's little template files out there you can use. I have just
Yeah.
a 16 by 9 shaped rectangle.
I was trying that. I think I may have, I don't know. I might need your help.
Yeah, it's alright. I don't think this is bad because it's still gonna be misshapen whether I'm doing like a game stream in here with the widescreen, or now that you have the ultra wide too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice that it's wider to expand it out longer, and then it'll just be blank parchment on the top and bottom.
Later, Thugly.
Ugly, have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Absolutely.
And I'm assuming casting a vote in the poll. Oh man, yeah, experience debt. Ugh. That's gonna be a very good counterpoint to that, because I was thinking food all the way, but
Yeah.
man, I don't know now.
It's really hard to say, honestly. I think maybe I'm big on creating alts and giving them specific jobs in the world, whether it's crafting, checking spawns, or market prices. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And this bunny mount, by the way, that's going to be my PvP mount.
Because it's fast.
No, because rabbits are evil. And it should strike fear into the hearts of everyone I'm chasing down.
Virtek really doesn't like rabbits, you guys.
No.
Mr. Valentine, will you give me a loan for my freehold purchase? We are the one gonna need a loan for our freehold purchase, so I don't think so.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeking out loans. We're gonna be seeking out investors for our property.
Yes. Specifically investors. Totally not pay to win. Pay for convenience.
Yeah, well, at least they can't do it with actual real money cash, so I suppose it's good there.
No.
But we'll give them some food out of the tavern or a profit share, whichever they'd rather.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can make enough profit on the first freehold before it gets destroyed, and we'll be able to afford to buy the next one ourselves without investors, but we'll see.
Raven's gonna rob 100 caravans for us. Thank you, Raven.
This is why we love you.
I'll have gold and also sell fire insurance.
Fire
yeah?
insurance.
Are you gonna also be the one that starts the fire?
At least probably the one to sell the matches to other people too.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I sell matches and fire insurance.
Yes.
No, they don't have anything to do with each other. Why would you ask such a thing?
No problem. Let me dispose of the bodies. Oh no. This is a nice tavern. Be shame if someone sees shit. Oh no. Mafia boss.
That's both terrible and amazing all in one. If we knew it wasn't about the Golden Feather Tavern, it would just be amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But what do you guys think in general about the what is it? I guess freehold systems in general that they talked about?
Yeah, the Freehold Showcase. What's general opinion? Because I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff in there that some people like or don't like or what have you, but just the general feelings on the whole thing. Chibibree doesn't only drink mead, but the blood of my enemies. Yes, I mean hey, mead is good for morale. So just bringing a brewbear into PvP would also be a good thing.
Absolutely. Also, have you tried to walk a straight lane drunk? It's not very easily. Just,
No. Well, see, that's why the bear doesn't drink.
No, I'm saying you you get the other person drunk that you're trying to PvP.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Look, I come bearing gifts.
Hello, Nera.
Wahaha! Try to run from me now. Hello, Nera.
Chibi is ganker confirmed.
No, I'm not.
She's a one-person ganking team. Just if she's on her brewbear, be prepared. You're getting dosed with some booze.
Wait, what if you could throw beer at somebody and then make them drunk? That'd be funny.
Some potent booze. I need some of that in my life. And Fenris is indifferent. Just wants more Tolnar news.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's fair. Okay, sounds good. Remember that mercenary chibi thing I mentioned?
No, see,
Oh gosh.
I think Nair has the inside scoop on you. Like Nair knows what's really going on.
Serving cocktails and Molotovs. But,
Sometimes both.
It's interesting because the first building you had to construct on your freehold is a house. You can't just buy the freehold to then put anything on there. I think it has to be a house first.
Yeah, have to have your house. But we're gonna be eating up like a lot of our plot just by saying, okay, big house because we need furniture. Also 2 taverns, and then we're gonna probably need to do some farming in order to supply a little bit of something to the food and booze we're trying to make, right?
Maybe. Or maybe that's how we trade. We do a little bit of food and booze to trade for the supplies for it. I don't know.
Yeah, Nero, that was a whole conversation we had before you walked in, is we want to have, because there's multiple talent trees, and that we saw so far anyway, right now they have 2 talent trees for taverns. We'd have 2 Golden Feather taverns, one for sleeping and inn-like functions, and another one for drinking, eating, and other tavern-like functions.
Yeah. There's
Maybe
actually a poll
have...
up at the top right now. It's about to end soon, so if you want to partake in that, if you had to choose one, which one would you prefer?
I guess we could, if we're allowed to put like a placard out front to name it, we could have the Golden Feather Tavern and the Golden Feather Inn.
Yeah, I like that.
Fine establishment and a dirty dive. We're gonna need 3 taverns now because we gotta have the hole in the wall out back behind the house.
Oh no.
It's gonna be the place for people of ill repute.
I'm shaking my head at you.
I can feel it from here.
The hotel and adjoining restaurant, basically. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Kind of like a bed and breakfast, except for they have to be separate.
Yeah. You just have to cross between 2 buildings while in your slippers.
Focus on food buffs, 1 with 5, and then 3 for the rested XP. Which type depends on location, really? Near dungeon, food buffs. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Level 50 to get quest. By that point, how many will still need the rest XP if you're a little late? The freehold ownership. Yeah, but it's it may not be for us, it may be for like other people, but yeah, no, I think the food buffs make sense, especially because like you have to be like 50 to get it, but rested XP near the city, and then the other one.
Mr. Valentine, also you may or may not have been late to that point as well, but Galwood even mentioned experience debt by dying.
Yeah,
would be good to have a rested experience buff there.
Yeah,
that we can hang out there. It's even near a dungeon as well. Because if you raid, 2-3 times a week, and say 2 of those days you're not going to do anything else in between, just camp out at the local inn, get some rested XP, so you're just right there by the dungeon again, or the raid, or what have you. Get that rested XP and jump in. Oh, that would be terrible and horrendous, and I would riot. Yeah, Nero, I'm already really sad that the freehold plots are going to be so limited. I mean, it's going to be 1.5 acres, which is a large plot of land.
Oh, geez.
Like, I'd be happier if the plot was shorter. Yeah. Time flies by when you're having fun. We've been gone for a little while. Yeah.
I just got the alert that the ad's starting in about 2 minutes. And I was like, wait, already?
Hey, to tell you what, yeah, we can probably go ahead and just kick that ad in right meow. Just get it out of the way.
Run 3-minute ad. There we go. Add in progress.
Running out. Okay. We'll just shoot the breeze. We'll wait for that 3-minute ad to end here. You know, I should probably just go ahead and pull that up so I can see it too, because I always forget to do that part.
Yeah, there's actually a thing that you can get for OBS that you can see for when there's going to be an ad. There's an add-on
I need
for that.
to do that.
I will send it to you. It's one of the people that we follow that has all these OBS plugins.
Yeah, I'll
really
need
cool.
to do that for sure.
5 to 10% of this player base will actually own land. More will have access, of course, but it's not the same. Yeah. So 5 to 10%. If we go 3,000 per server, that's 30 per node, basically. 30 people per node will have land. That means that land is going to be highly sought after.
Yeah, especially the ones near Metropoli, because they're gonna have the raids and stuff unlocked there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
But yeah, I mean, it's possible if they have 15,000. Yeah, if they have, well, I'll wait until we come back off a break there for that.
Yeah, we're still about a minute and a half. You know, it might benefit to be able to find like a overlay that people can toggle for CC that might like update what we're saying while we're saying it. That might be cool. That'll be part of the thing that I look into that when we go to like determine if we're gonna stream here or on like YouTube, because I don't think YouTube does ads like this in the middle of somebody streaming. About 54 seconds real quick.
Okay.
Sorry for the delay, you guys. Just waiting for everybody to be able to see us again.
Waiting for end of commercial. We really got to get some commercials created from people so we can roll Ash's creator commercials.
I keep trying, but nobody gives me anything. 50k players per 10k online at any point. Oh, 15k players per server, not 50k.
Yeah.
15k at launch. 50k later on. That's news to me. 7 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're back.
And we're back.
Well,
hello
they're
again.
back.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so if there's so at launch and probably for the foreseeable future, because let's face it, new team, new game, new everything, lots of new stuff. They're not going to be focused too much on expanding the robustness of the system so much as trying to get everything polished out, ironed out, up to speed, up to snuff, like working well, and adding new features for the, the typical time frame or faster of like every 6 months there's a decent release to have a MMO.
yeah.
And I think Steven said that they're going to try for a faster release schedule with smaller updates.
Yeah.
So they're probably not going to be aiming for making the system robust like that soon unless they make an incredibly profitable launch. And then they can just dump money into somebody making a whole new custom setup. And just that's all they focus on. They don't focus on like fixing things and making improvements. They'll keep the normal team for that. And they'll, hire a third party to just, okay, well, now what we need to do is make this handle, a lot more people concurrent.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems too high never, but the one thing that I keep trying to remember is with WoW, there's hundreds of thousands of people on a server, but they also do phasing and layering and such. So I'm trying to think of like how many layers that I've seen active in different places at a time. And I don't know I guess it doesn't matter what technology they're using on the back end to make it happen. It would just need to be strong enough. So
We have to
it's
factor
more
in
of
the
the
focus on
code technology.
primetime gameplay. Yeah, true. Primetime gameplay too. Yeah.
Yeah, primetime gameplay is where it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I can see that.
Really curious to see how many people are playing Prime all the time.
And also, I think that might depend if it's like centric towards like a certain, like, you know, East Coast server, etc., or like a section of this is East Coast centric, etc. Everyone will be on to 3 to 4 hours. Yeah.
I think you're underestimating the average there. You see, Ashes of Creation is going to be a sweaty versus reward system. You got to be a sweaty gamer to get that reward. Okay?
I mean, it really will
be on all
though.
the time. Yeah, it is. It's going to be really like intense with that.
Honestly, so that's another thing. And I'm going to go off script a little bit, but that's something I totally saw somebody talk about, you know, like with these types of systems, is Ashes just going to be another game that tends to not really care about casuals in terms of that stuff? It's not casual friendly in that case. That's also max registered accounts for a full server, which includes dead accounts that never leveled past 10 and haven't played in months. Yeah, that's fair. Or, you know, alts. But
yeah, but that's one thing that I think I remember Steven saying something about, is that it's not really going to be geared well for casual players. Like, it's going to be geared well enough that casual players can play it, but it's not going to be like very casual friendly.
It's not for the casuals.
Yeah, it's not for casuals, but casuals can play it and feel a sense of success when they do stuff. But the fact that it's going to take so long to level, and then all this stuff is going to be knocked down, like if they happen to somehow afford a freehold and they don't know that when the node gets destroyed, their freehold's gone, that might cause somebody to rage quit a game.
Oh, absolutely. I could see that.
Especially if they're only on like every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's becoming, as Nera says, it's becoming more and more casual hostile the more we learn about the game. And I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, the one thing, like, any outrage people have had about many of these announcements of things, I've never really jumped on train with any of that. But I will say that the freeholds being very limited like that is something that kind of hits close to home, because we want to have a tavern as part of the, you know, the podcast theme, and being able to connect with everybody and see what's happening and get people constantly coming through telling the stories about what's going on is going to be great.
You also signed up for the PAX Day thing, right?
Yeah, I haven't really done anything with it.
Apparently, this might be something you want to do tomorrow during your stream. Apparently, they also released their freehold information, so might be something to consider comparing. Indeed. I guess. So we're kind of more in the know.
Yeah. I just know that Yeah. Sorry, I'd like to finish what I was saying there real quick. The thing that I would hop on with is making a plea to Intrepid to please change the number of freeholds available. I personally don't care if we have a smaller plot of land for the freehold.
Yeah.
Or if we don't have to buy a county's worth of area.
Yeah.
Like, if we're buying a county's worth of land, you could absolutely cut that in half and double the amount of freeholds that are available.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you there wouldn't be almost anybody complaining about that.
Yeah.
I personally thought, I was under the impression that freeholds were going to be almost right on top of each other. Like, there's a fence and it's dividing two properties or something. Like
the housing in Final Fantasy 14.
Almost. Yeah, something like that. Like, there's going to be just a bunch of houses out and about everywhere. But, I mean, there's got to be some kind of middle ground that could be struck to add more than just the low thousands, which is a very vague ballpark, because looking at 15,000 people registered, you could consider between 1 and 5,000 the low thousands, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Now, if there's 50,000 registered user per server, you could still consider like between 1 and like 15,000 the low thousands comparatively to how many people are on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if they legitimately mean low, like between 1 and 4,000, oof, that's gonna be kind of rough living there.
Yeah. So I want to circle back to what Nara is saying. So the old thing is, old Steven said this. I'm Scoots. I'll be right back there real quick. Traditionally in MMORPGs, you're going to see a larger population of casual players than you do hardcore players. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles from a population standpoint. Because of that, the way the nodes collect experience in advance is as a result of player activity. The casual players will actually have more impact on node progression than hardcore players will, at least as I predict, because the sheer quantity of disproportionate between the two different groups of people. You may see in Ashes the smaller hardcore group of players progress further into the late game content, right? But they don't have the numbers to influence the nodes in those locations as quickly as the more casual, larger population has near the outskirts. And yeah, that's absolutely like a very good point, right? And then followed up by saying my suggestion I put on the forum was like 10 smaller houses in a parcel of land instead of one freehold, like a small cozy village. I could see that. I am Scoots, welcome in, says, speaking of freeholds, so in the worst case scenario, the node gets destroyed, your freehold gets destroyed. My question is, will we get our assets back for a future freehold? Do we still have a permit to start over somewhere else? That's a good question, because I mean...
No.
I thought you could save your stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know about
you save your stuff. There was a mention of some kind of like a box that appears in your mail or something. Okay. So that when you do start another freehold, you can just unload all your stuff and start placing all your belongings everywhere again. But no, you're going to have to buy another plot of land somewhere. You have to you're going to have to find out if there are available freehold plots. And then you're going to have to bid on them. And if none are available to bid on, especially in anywhere that you actually want to buy a house, because let's say a very aggressive PvP guild that wants to wipe out everybody who's not them is taking up a quarter of the map, you literally have a quarter of the map that you cannot go to. You cannot make a freehold there. And let's say they don't care about anybody harassing some of their people, so their people are also spreading out to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So they're going to be, aggressive neighbors. Yeah. So then you lose more stuff that you can possibly bid on. And then once you bid on a place and you win it, you have to pay that. If there is no place available, then you have to try to coax another player into selling.
Right. Welcome in, Faded Ghost. Faded Ghost, since you're new, I just want to highlight yours first. It says, would be cool to have a stash freehold, like a thieves' den that can be located if you can find it. Like,
yeah,
go
I
ahead
like
and take it if you can find it. But let's see, from the wiki, destroyed freeholds are subject to material loss, and blueprints for them are mailed to the player to utilize for future placement in order to allow the player to keep the freehold's layout and structure. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, Nero, the other idea I had is, honestly, they were saying it was going to be about a half an acre, but now it's an acre and a half, and there's going to be many acres worth of space that you can drop a freehold in. Well, why not just make the freehold 1 acre and you have 6 acres to place it in?
Yeah.
You still have a decent plot of land.
Grumpy, welcome in. I know you're kind of coming in a little bit in the middle of the discussion. We were mainly talking before getting on the topic of like what happens, if the freehold gets or the node gets sieged and then your freehold's gone. We were also talking about like the limited part for us specifically is kind of a bummer because we would want to have a tavern instead of, just a normal house. But if we weren't TGFTavern, I'd be just fine with whatever housing is wherever. Just because then I'd at least have a house. But
that's the thing though, is the instance apartments and the homes inside of the nodes, those are absolutely limited. We've known that since day one when they talked about them. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not like everybody can have an apartment either. And the node homes are going to be very restricted because those are out in the world inside a node.
Yeah.
So if they're inside of Metropolis even, there's only going to be, a handful of those, and then a certain number of, and I could be wrong, but I think there were like maybe in the hundreds or 100 apartments. I think there, and this is me forgetting, and I'm trying to look it up right now as I speak, literally. I think it was going to be, it starts at like 15 or something like that on the lower end, and as it increases up, as the node level increases, you can get more housing unlocked. Yeah. But it might only be like 50 or 100 apartments. So those are very limited around the world. So it's not like everybody will definitely have a house to put stuff. It's absolutely going to be limited. And what we were talking about, Grumpy, was more along the lines of if we personally can have a freehold so that we can have our tavern.
Yeah.
It literally just might not be available. We might not have enough money, or we might not have the timing, or we might not have. It's basically it's a limited thing that we're not just putting in effort. We also have to be lucky.
Yeah. And that's just the kind of part of it.
Yeah. Like, and it's not like getting gear from a raid.
Get it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like getting gear from a raid where you can just keep raiding until you get the gear. This is like, you're just going to not have a node if you're not lucky enough flat out, because you can't just keep going to the metropolis like, I want to buy one today. Nope, you don't win today. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Freehold anxiety is not recognize medical condition unfair.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that.
I can see that. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. That was clever.
Yeah, I think honestly, at least for the first one, maybe we can generate enough money to be able to get rich enough to keep money in the bank to buy a new freehold when the first one gets destroyed. And we can get lucky that way, but we're gonna have to charge a lot of money for stuff so we can afford that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I think the first one we might need to get a group of friends / guildies / investors to invest in the tavern and just give out profit shares or free food and lodging or something.
Yeah. Don't worry, when I get a freehold, you guys can be part of my freehold family, but I would definitely read the terms and conditions, JK. Hello, Basin, welcome in. Might be good to have a processing building in the back to help support the tavern. Yeah, that's what we were thinking. I know that I
occasionally collect tithes of spleens for payment on rent.
Oh, no. I was definitely thinking that I would like to do alchemy, right? So that might be nice to also support the freehold that way. I personally enjoy the fact that everyone can't have a freehold. Yeah, and that's not like, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
One more time, just because there was a little bit of bouncing around between what we were saying.
The fact that everyone can't have the freehold. How do you feel about that?
Massively disappointed. To be honest, like I was okay hearing that you had to put in a lot of effort to get one, and I understand him trying, Steven specifically trying to make the comparison to the mounts, but it's always been understood that flying is not going to be a thing in the game. Right. It's going to be limited to very few strategic positions. Like that's cool, I can understand that. So don't buy a flying mount unless you know for sure you're going to have the support of your guild in a PvP guild, and you are the guild leader. Or you're going to focus all of your time on being a mayor somewhere and you think you might do it. It's a choice you have to make there.
Yeah.
But I don't recall until literally this past stream that they were going to be limited in number. It was always limited in effort. And I didn't mind putting in a lot of effort. Like I would put in a massive amount of effort if it guaranteed me a freehold. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. If Virtek gives you a whole island, then I should be able to do something similar. Yeah. I agree with that, but also some of that is, I mean, as pointed out previously, right? Some of that is that your freehold is not going to be safe unless you're literally on a building, like in the, what was the word for that? Currently, the only safe space for the freehold is the home. So if you're within the home's footprint, you cannot be harmed via damage from other players. Basically, you won't need to lock your doors or windows. You would just return from the server as not a valid target. So definitely makes them special. It sounds like around 10% of the active player, maybe 20% would be better. If it's 2%, then something like that would be a huge crisis, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there's also things to be said, like in Final Fantasy, you have problems getting housing because of the number of people that already own the homes. And
But they
I'm
have a
not saying,
huge number of housing available, a huge amount of housing
Yeah.
available.
yeah, I'm not saying like Final Fantasy is like the way to go about it. I'm just saying, I think it could be a little bit more. But
Yeah, because honestly, from what I saw, and I could be wrong on this, I didn't get huge into housing in Final Fantasy, but I didn't have a
Yeah.
problem getting one. I just had a problem getting the money to buy one.
um,
That was it. There was always one for sale. For whenever I looked, there was always one for sale.
So when
It
I
was
was
just-
trying to do it, I had to get the money, but once I got the money, I had to wait for that specific type of plot to to become available. And then as soon as it became available, you had to like bid like crazy to get access to it and to win it, especially on the more congested servers. The more dead servers, yeah, but the more congested part of the server, I could see like fighting to get access to one. The inventory manageable, that's the part I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah, narrower, and that's something I was kind of getting towards earlier, is that might be a train where I finally jump on, is if that ends up being something that they decide not to change, is the super limitation on the freeholds, I might reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I only want to keep these freehold cosmetics and that's it. I'd like a refund on the rest. I'm not guaranteed to be able to get one through effort, because you can get the tier 2 mount through effort in the game. Everybody can get that. So including that in a comparison for cosmetics is not fair.
Yeah.
That's not a fair statement to make, because everybody can get that one if they just put through the effort. But not everybody can get a freehold if they just put in the effort. So I might put back the ones where I thought like, hey, that'd be kind of neat, and only keep the ones that I actually want. Like absolutely want, just in case. Well, yeah, you can get a freehold through effort, but you're not guaranteed to get one if you put in the effort, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Whereas a lot of other games you are. Because not only that, but there's your initial effort, but then if your node gets sieged, you have to put in that effort all over again and hope that you're one of the first people to get whatever new land you're choosing to move to.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to be negative. This is just generally like neutral to just critical, right? We're not being negative about it though.
Yeah, this is mainly just feedback on something that I hope they change. Like it's a decision that I can understand the logic behind going that route, but I would very much prefer they didn't, to be honest. That it sucks a lot of the fun out of it, because for people who just want to do something like that but don't want to make that our whole existence, like I don't want the tavern to be our whole existence. Sure, I want to put a lot of effort into it, absolutely. We want to keep making the food and the drink and hang out and play games
game. Because out of game, this tavern will be our existence. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that.
Absolutely. In game, I don't want it to be the in-game existence. And not be able to go raiding because, oh my gosh, we aren't making enough money and somebody's angry at our node, so they might just come and siege it in like a month. So we've got to make a lot more money if we're going to try to even think of buying another freehold somewhere. Like, it's okay if it costs more money and it was guaranteed to get one, then it wouldn't be so pressing. Like, hey, we're just going to take a week or two off and we'll be building a new one. We'll let you guys know where it is when we get it. We got to go make them dollar bills.
But I mean, obviously I'm going to have to wait to see what it's actually like, and nothing's set in stone, I don't think. Because it's still alphas, right? And I feel like that's what the alpha 2 test is supposed to be about, but I wonder how they're gonna test that.
It'd be interesting. Like I'm actually legitimately interested in seeing how that pans out in the testing.
Yeah. But also, like, your feedback, right? Like, your feedback matters a lot.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And yeah, this is going to be one of those things where I actually feel passionate about. I'm definitely going to absolutely, without a doubt, make sure that I get it known out there. I usually try to post something, but this is going to be one where I'm actually going to write up something and post it up on the forums. So it definitely gets read.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because I do have that feedback thread already.
Yeah.
By the way, it is now 9 o'clock.
Ew.
There's so much more that we have not covered yet.
Yeah, there is a lot more we haven't covered, but hey. Today, I think, accomplished the purpose we were aiming for, which was we were gone for, I think at this point it's been 5 weeks. I think it's been over a month now.
Yeah.
So
we were supposed to be back last week for those of you that missed us, but Virtek had a work emergency pop up.
Yeah, work called and said, sorry, need you for as long as we need you. Basically. Oof. It almost happened today, but they made that call yesterday instead of today. So we almost missed today again. But yeah, the goal for today was just to hop on and hang out with you folks and casually talk about things that we've missed and stuff that's been going on. And I think it felt very relaxing and I was very happy that we could get back here. So thank you all for hanging out with us. It's much appreciated.
Yes.
We're happy to get back here.
On chat a little bit. Nair says the problem with testing this thing also is the limited amount of testers, that people won't be gunning as hardcore for the Freehold plots as release, where the pressure will then be like more intense there. Galwood says it's hard to say at this point because the difference between 2,000 freeholds and 3,000 freeholds per server would be a major price difference. And absolutely, I agree with that 100%. That says, glad you two are getting settled. Thank you. And thank you guys for your patience. And we made sure before we left our previous Freehold that we got our YouTube video section up to date and everything for you guys, so you'd have something to watch while we were away. And we're going to be keeping up with that. So we're going to be making sure that that's staying up to date each week for those of you that are our subscribers. Right now, we're going to be going with whoever is subscribed in any manner. Thank you so much. I have to swap over so I can do the cheers. Do the cheers for me first, though.
Cheers for that. There
we go. But yeah, cheers for me as well. But yeah, no, like honestly, we will have a section that if you support us in any manner, be it subscribing to us here, subscribing to our Discord, we're trying to figure out some stuff with coffee. Any way that you are supporting us, we have a section that you guys all get access to. So you'll see like the early access video to the edited version, which is where we just kind of cut off the long intro countdown and then the outro and then just fix up the audio. We don't really edit too much of the actual video. We try to keep it as canon as original as possible. Just fixing up some of the audio is all. So
yep.
That gets available.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, continue.
That becomes available first for our subscribers, and whoever our guest is, we tend to send that to our guest as well. And then the following Thursday, it goes live for everybody else.
Yeah. I've got some things I have to finish up for work this weekend, so I won't be getting it done by Monday like typical, or like I typically have been now that we're caught up. So it might not be available till maybe Monday night or Tuesday. I have a project I got to finish over this weekend.
But whenever it is done at the earliest, once it gets uploaded, because he tends to edit them and then I tend to get them uploaded and doing all the description stuffs and the thumbnail stuffs. So as soon as he gets that ready, I'll send you guys the link there. And thank you again so very much for your patience with us as we moved. We were intending to come back on the 12th, actually. So we got to the house on the 5th, officially, like moved in. whatever was in our cars on the 5th. And then the 12th, they were supposed to deliver our stuff. We had actually anticipated them delivering our stuff earlier. And then we didn't get the truck until the 20th. So could not stream, did not have stuff to stream with until literally last week. So sorry about that. Sorry for the long wait. And it was an unexpected and unplanned vacation for us.
Yeah.
But I will be making updates to the Discord. I've been promising this for a while, and I'm going to make good on that promise this weekend. So while Virtek will be streaming tomorrow, I will be updating things on the Discord. Since we're a community, we finally got the onboarding feature. And I saw a few cool other features, such as a gallery feature where it could be a channel for nothing but images. And it's like in a gallery. So for you artists that are sending in your fan art that you're making or sharing fan art that you've gotten commissioned, I think that would be a really cool feature to have for that.
Yeah. Once Ashes gets started, we can have an arena wins screenshot post.
Yeah, I think that could be fun.
Gallery.
Absolutely.
999 Z images for one of everybody else.
Yep. But yeah, you'll still be doing your morning stuff tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah. Not sure what I'll be doing. I kind of tend to try to leave that for how I'm feeling in the morning, and what I hear people say they would like to see or play with me on the morning time.
Yeah. So, because it's the coffee quest, it's the quest for waking up, so it's easier just taking little bits at a time.
I usually jump in with my real life face and tend to be unshaven and hair going everywhere, and literally just I woke up and it's morning time. Yay.
Yep. Also, Starslot, thank you so much for the follow. I wanted to make sure I added that in. Had a little spiel there that I was in the middle of. Cats versus dogs. Yes,
ooh,
we have to end our stream with the cats versus the dogs. Which one is Devil's Advocate?
Okay, so who would you like to debate which one? And while we do that debate, if you folks would like to see us raid over to anybody in particular, please let us know, and we will raid over to them. Currently, what I'm looking at on my little sidebar is Wickersloth playing some Phantasy Star Online 2. We got Thogly doing some Dota 2, and we got a Tech Deck 2 doing just chatting. Is it literally just chatting? Yeah, he's just chatting and watching what looks like a little conference of people in a... So those are the options that I'm putting forth, but if you know of somebody else that you would like us to raid over to, as long as they're not super crazy time, then yeah, we'll do that. But, Chibi.
Yes.
Chibi is cats.
Yes, and since Fenris redeemed the thing, Fenris, I'll let you choose. So, I am for cats. You are for dogs. Cats are better because you can literally set up a food bowl and a water bowl for them and let them be. And you can go to your local Golden Feather Tavern and play a game night with your friends and not worry about your cat.
You see, that's nice and all, but typically when you get home from that, cats just don't really care about you. Dogs, they're going to be waiting for you. They're going to be so happy that you're home, and you're going to know that they missed you while you were gone for ages.
Well, see, so, cats are better because you don't have to worry about them jumping on you all the time. Because, you know, like we have an outdoor cat, and I can walk outside and the cat will just come up meowing at me and wanting love. Yeah, it's very gentle, very low stress, and it's so much better because you're not getting clawed up by something that's just super excited to see you.
Yeah, well, you see, Alexia, but that's the other thing.
Sounds like we've had issue.
I mean, that's fair enough in most contexts, but we had two kitties that were absolutely terrified by everything. and they would only come up and greet you if you sat perfectly still in a single place for a long time and made no noise, and then they would walk up and say hi. If you moved too quickly or reached for them before they got to you, they would run.
Yeah, I can see that.
Claws in the carpet and everything, just absolutely insanely run away because they just got frightened by the demon. Whereas I've never seen a dog do that. I mean, there's some little chihuahuas. They're scared of a lot of stuff, but eventually they warm up to you when you're around enough, and they come up and say hi. Right, right. I am absolutely jealous of that cat.
I think cats are better because they make really light lap pets instead of big heavy dogs. Sometimes when you're going long enough, a cat might show their displeasure by ignoring you for a bit, but then it's all love after that. Yeah, see? Better than the dogs that, you know, tear up your clothing and your trash cans and, you know.
Okay, I didn't want to do this, but I have the ultimate trump card.
Oh no.
I have the ultimate trump card.
Okay.
If you were to, for some reason, expire inside your house or around your pet in any way, shape, or form, a cat would take almost no time before you become the dinner. A dog would not do that. Doggy would sit there and mourn the loss and just sit there with you and probably be really sad the entire time.
Aw, poor dog. That's depressing.
It is, but the doggy wouldn't eat you afterwards.
Isn't that a good thing for the cat?
For the cat?
All right, guys, you choose who won that fight. That was our devil's advocate request from Raven.
Gotta respect that snack hustle.
They prefer life prey. Yeah, fair. But yeah. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for having a chill stream with us. I will figure out who our guest is next week, but we will be having Faye on the week after. So look forward to that, and more Freehold conversations. Faded Ghost, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the tavern. I hope you enjoy your stay as a patron. And for everybody else, please have a wonderful rest of your Friday evening or Saturday early day, whatever day time it is for you, because it's late enough in the day at this point. Yep, got to get your stretch. Thank you so much. You guys take
stretching.
Take care as well. It's been a long week for a lot of us, and I hope you get the time that you deserve to relax and enjoy yourself this weekend. Until next week, I say adieu.
And I suppose we can start getting a raid put together. We can head over and see Thogly. Thogly was nice enough to stop by today, so that could be the tiebreaker because nobody really suggested anyone else.
Okay.
But once again, thank you everybody for stopping by. It's much appreciated. You could have been doing anything with your time, including saving up for your own freehold, so you could have a tavern to compete against us. And we appreciate that you didn't do that. You were instead hanging out with us. And we love you for that. And we're super happy to see all your faces again. Or names, rather, I guess. But that's close enough to a face, right? That's an internet face. Internet faces count.
Absolutely. I have to get this username. I failed at doing the raid.
Yeah, I was going to say, I usually try to copy it.
Yeah.
I always end up spelling it wrong. I don't know why. I always forget the second H.
Honestly,
Almost
I wish they
time.
would... I wish they would let you just autocomplete. There we go.
Yeah, or like right-click raid, because they're over in our like favorited peoples. Followed peoples.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, right? Anyway, join us in raiding Thogly. The what was the name of dwarves? The
Doonhold. Or wait, the type of dwarves.
The owner name. Never mind.
Oh, Guildmaster?
Yeah, but it's not Guildmaster, but it's like a different name. But yes.
Oh, Matron.
Matron, thank you.
Matron.
The Matron of Doonhold.
Yes. All right, thank you all again, and you have yourselves a happy day and a great weekend. Goodbye.
Bye bye.